Stupid as shit. No, but his sister was his sister was a meme on 4chan for a while. People were
she's
posting
got huge tits.
Yeah, I mean that'll definitely do it.
She's got massive tits.
But that's over, and I think that's like years ago now.
She's also a huge cunt in her own right.
Time passed so fucking slowly between 2016 and 2020. It felt like 10 years. And then since 2021 it's been like 2 years. I've lost track of like it. I thought it was like 2 months ago.
Yeah, I mean that's what COVID did.
Fucking yeah, I guess you're right.
Yeah, everybody basically went through like a multi-year time warp.
Okay, I have to do that. I have to do this.
Jump to the left.
Oh, can we do the Michael Scarn dance later? That's, too much even for this room. Hello, everybody. My name is DrNiggle. Welcome to the Church of Chonkwij podcast. Do I really have to turn off fucking stream mode in Discord because it's doing the thing Omega where it just shows unless you change your name, which would be hilarious. Your name is I'm joined tonight by Zero Burn and Masami is entertaining guests and listening to us abroad. Hi, Masami. And hi, Future Leetness, while we're at it.
Hello.
Good times. Alright, so it's been an exciting week in gaming.
Is it?
What happened?
I don't know. Well, to start off with today, Steam Next Fest has begun June 19th to June 26th. So Next Fest is, again, where you got 1 billion demos to download if you have any games that you're looking to check out or if you're just looking for new games.
There's some fun games I played on that last year.
There are a couple here there was one here in particular that it's called News Cycle. It's an early access city builder survival game, and it looks really pretty. And yeah, I might play the demo of that. But yeah, there's some cool stuff. Steam's got a whole page for it. You can scroll down, see previews. It's pretty good, pretty rad. But yeah. So there you go. That was their exciting week in gaming.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody. Yeah, so you both been playing anything but D4, or you've been playing all D4?
Pretty much just D4.
Yep. Is there any other game? I don't think there's any other game.
I'm in 1 minute about to start a Gathering Legions event, which will be fun. I just hit level 74.
Yeah. What was the other one? Oh, I wanted to check if Counter-Strike 2 is out yet, but no, they're still in their early test.
I spent the better part of my day off today wandering around everywhere, unlocking the map on my Necromancer and getting Altars of Lilith so that I could get the bonus points.
Yeah, once you unlock all those extra Paragon points, it ends up being a total of 20 extra Paragon points.
Yeah.
It's quite delightfully powerful.
Well, it's not the Paragon points that I went for. I went for the skill points because I hadn't even gotten to level 3 on any of my characters. So, or on my Necro. I hadn't, because I just blew through the story and then kept going. Not paying attention to that, and then I was like, wait, that's free points for any alt that I build.
Yeah, the ability points that you get from it are great as well. It ends up being 68 points per stat. And also, there are a couple of the Lilith statues that themselves contain a couple Paragon points. I think there's 4 total in the world. So yeah, a couple days in, I went and wanted to get all my renown up to max, and the last thing I did for each of them was just march around on my horse and explore everything and get all those damned altars. It was a lot of fun. It was kind of fun, just leisurely exploring.
Yeah, the only ones I hated going after were the ones in the PvP zones.
I didn't have a problem when I went in for the altars. The only time I've ever had an issue in the PvP zone was one of the times that I tried to actually refine the whatever the fuck they're called, seeds.
Yeah.
And other than that, I've never even seen anybody in there. I don't go in a ton, but
Sorry, I discovered another game that I might be very interested in.
Yes.
It's called Furnish Master. The entire point of it seems to be to furnish rooms.
Oh God. hours of your life wasted.
It really is. It's like House Flipper. It satisfies the millennials' delusions of owning a home. Huh.
So
Okay. Well, good game. Interesting game.
Good question. From me, the altars of Lilith. Once you unlock them, that's it. It is an active feature on all characters for the.
You don't get the renown. You don't get the renown for your other characters. So if you're looking to like max renown on another character, you're still going to have to farm altars. But the stats are there from level 1. Like you start a new character and you have all of those extra stat points from each altar. You have, and once you hit 50, you instantly have like 20 Paragon points.
Oh boy. Okay. So, yeah, I just want to bring up one thing and then we can go into, there's like 4 Diablo articles to go through, and one of them I know Omega's got thoughts on. So, just quickly, something we talked about last week, or something that Zero brought up 2 weeks ago, was Twitch's new policy on what it was, like advertising logos.
Yeah, you mean the policy they walked back almost fucking immediately?
Yeah, as is the custom at Twitch. They basically limited the way that streamers can display their endorsements, affiliates, or whatever. And there was an outcry by the community. Twitch backpedaled furiously and held a town hall, which is that glorious kind of useless event that doesn't actually matter at all, where they bring in representatives of the Twitch community to voice their concerns, and it ostensibly made everybody feel a lot better. A brief update on that. Twitch did announce earlier this week that there's a new program after the failed old new program, which is going to help streamers make more money. Asterisk. So the gist of this is that some streamers on Twitch are going to be eligible for the 70-30 split instead of the current 50-50 split between the revenue that you get from advertising and the revenue that Twitch gets from advertising. So they're changing up a system that will make some streamers eligible for the 70-30 split up to $100,000. The asterisk comes in when you actually do the math for what's required for this. And the guy on ZDNet did this, he cites a tweet from Steam Charts. Out of 42,000 active Twitch partners that would be eligible for this, only 1,000 currently have the required amount of subscriptions to be eligible for what they're calling now Partner Plus. So that's 2.5% of their current active Twitch partners. And second point that Steam Charts made was even Twitch's increased 70-30 revenue stream share only matches that of YouTube and falls well behind that of upstart rival Kick, which offers 95-5 split. And that's for all streamers with no subscription requirements. So, yeah, Twitch does something that sounds great. The math reveals it's great for a very specific subset of people. Very small number of people in the grand scheme of things, but yeah, that's where they landed this week.
Yeah, well, you know what? I have I have opened up a Kick channel. Um
Oh, what's your
and
Kick channel? We'll follow you on Kick. I'll follow you on Kick.
it's Mountain Star Gaming, MTN Star Gaming. I had to shorten it because it wouldn't let me put the whole thing.
Yeah, you should have just gone with Zero Burn 75.
Yeah, well, I
Shut up.
mean, I could technically switch it. So
Oh, Kick's awesome. Anyway, yeah, I just want to bring that up because it is something that evolved quickly and furiously over the course of 2 weeks. So yeah, good times. Now for the fun stuff.
I saw a funny
Actually-
clip today on Reddit. It was I think XQC went to Kick, and they gave him like a fuck ton of money to do it. He was fucking live streaming The Dark Knight, and a Kick staff came in and like told him he had to stop.
Why? It's an awesome movie.
Oh, just a little thing, copyright.
Oh, hey,
But
Warner
it's so
Brothers
funny
is
that,
cool.
like,
They're
people
not.
are going to Kick because it's. I mean, how often does this happen? People will leave one platform because the quote unquote rules are too oppressive, and
Yep.
they go to somewhere else and immediately start breaking the rules there too.
Yep. Pretty much. But I'm just personally drawn to that. I'm drawn to the Wild West corners of the internet because, I don't know, I miss them or I'm afraid that they're going to disappear, even though they probably won't anytime soon. It's going to take a while for that. So I appreciate a little chaos on the internet. But that is, just straight up streaming Dark Knight, come on. It's just lazy. You could
If
be
you want
playing
chaos-
Diablo 4.
If you want chaos on the internet, we can readdress the Reddit story because that's still hilarious.
Is that still going on? I don't have any updates on that. Yeah, if you know something, go for
So
it.
Reddit basically started outright or implicitly threatening mods to reopen, saying like, we'll just remove you from your position and put somebody who will reopen as the top mod of the subreddit. Basically saying like, if you don't want to mod, that's fine. Fuck off. But so in protest, what a lot of subreddits have started doing is reopening, but changing their rules because they want the subreddits open, but moderators are allowed to set the rules of their subreddits, and a lot of subreddits are actually making community votes to change whether or not to change the rules. For instance, the Pix subreddit now, which was forced to reopen, is only allowing pictures of John Oliver. And the Awe subreddit for lots of cute things is only allowing pictures of John Oliver. And the meme subreddit. So funny story, in an interview trying to articulate why he doesn't think moderators should have the power to close down subreddits, the CEO of Reddit hilariously referred to moderators as the landed gentry for saying that it's the users of the subreddit who make it the subreddit what it is, and the moderators who are camping it, they don't deserve it, blah blah blah. When in reality, the moderators, are the people who maintain the community. They keep the community what it is. But he called them the landed gentry, which is especially funny considering he's a millionaire and moderators work for free. So
Yeah.
I mean, it's just a bad fucking comparison altogether. But regardless of that, so the meme subreddit now is only allowing memes with a medieval and landed and like gentry theme, or it's got to be medieval theme, or it has to involve the gentry or something like that. And it's so the protest has changed, and there's still a whole lot of fuck spez. That's the username of the CEO of Reddit, for those who don't know.
Yep.
And it's hilarious. Yeah, if you like internet chaos, Reddit is certainly full of it at the moment.
It's a full-on scruffy event where war were declared.
I mean, it's
What?
kind of funny.
War.
Oh, another thing that a lot of subreddits are doing to protest. Reddit doesn't allow advertising on pornographic subreddits. So the interesting as fuck subreddit, for example, is now filled with porn because they relaxed their rules on not safe for work content. So now people are posting things like a picture of their tits saying, "Isn't it interesting that Reddit can't monetize this subreddit if there's tits on it?" So the protest is still happening. Reddit tried to change the rules and say like, oh, the moderators aren't in control of their subreddits, and if they need, they have to reopen because we tell them to. So they're reopened. They have reopened. They have
Big Jesus
Yeah.
Christ. Big
It's excellent.
big fucking mistake. Speaking as someone, who's moderated and admined multiple sites over the course of my internet career, big fucking mistake to try. You do something unpopular, your community doesn't like it, you let your community talk it out. You have an open dialogue with your community. That's the only option that you really have besides hunkering down and trying to wait and hoping that it passes, which usually it will. It'll just take some time. It's a question of how much damage is done.
That's exactly what Reddit has decided to do. They're going to weather the storm. They're going to lose a whole bunch of users, and they'll move on.
But to come out and criticize your community and say, like, stop acting like that, or what the fuck is up with passively, maybe not threatening. I know you didn't specifically say that moderators were threatened to open their subreddits back on, but
no, they were basically explicitly told. They were basically explicitly told if you don't reopen, you will be removed. Like, we will put somebody in place. They will either remove them as a mod or put somebody above. The way the moderatorship of a subreddit works is the first person, like the person who creates a subreddit, is the top moderator. They can appoint other moderators, but they will always have the final authority. They can debot other moderators. They can, they are the king, essentially. And Reddit has said that they will put somebody else as the top mod who will make the subreddit open. And of course, they're couching it as, if you are no longer interested in moderating the community, it's not fair for you to close it down when other people, are willing to. So they're dressing it up and being all full of shit. But they're basically threatening mods to remove them from the communities that they've built if they don't do what Reddit tells them to do.
Hey, Silas just hopped in. Hello, Silas.
Hello.
I was to see Rabbit Kirby here, but yeah. I was just gonna say that's a colossal fucking mistake going after stuff or taking that attitude and other, because that's one of the things that large companies, large organizations have always disliked about the internet is the anonymity power of go fuck yourself. If you moderators have juice no matter how much you don't like it. So if you're gonna if I was up there in the Reddit administration, and somebody wanted to go for that, then the solution is kill them all immediately. Just one fell swoop. Don't leave room for trolling because you will be trolled. So that's great. Yeah, everybody go check out the shit show that is Reddit. That sounds great. Oh, more communities start doing that. That I would actually go and see.
Yeah, it's interesting. What's really funny is that a long time ago, Reddit removed porn subreddits from the all feed, which is just everything that's currently popular on Reddit. So you could still go to the porn, but they wouldn't show up on all. Well, because some of these subreddits that are really popular on the front page of Reddit have started adding porn. Porn is back on the front page of Reddit, and you can bet your ass that Reddit's hopes of soon having an IPO are getting smaller and smaller as advertisers see this fucking chaos and see Reddit users revolting against the site and porn fucking filling the place up in a user-led revolt.
Well, if the changing of the guard at Twitter taught me anything, it's that advertisers aren't afraid of incompetent management. I'm sorry, I just like digging Elon Musk at basically any opportunity that I have. Yeah. Honestly, I think it would be great if it was, threat of losing a public IPO that that broke Reddit's administration. I mean, it'll never publicly happen. They'll never admit. They have to save face. But it'd be great. It'd be great. Yeah, Silas, we talked about 4chan last week. I still I said basically the same thing. But like, yeah, there's a small percentage of it that's a really great, hangout. It's interesting, it's not toxic, it's fun. But the other 98% of it is basically cancer. Boy. All right, and just briefly segueing into Diablo 4 here, that will probably take up a lot of time. There was a town hall. So I know, I think, Omega, you watched it, or you?
Yep, I did.
Okay, and Leetness also did, and Zero, did you catch any of it?
I did not. I relied on my more learned friends.
Oh, there are learned people here.
There are.
Excuse me. So, Diablo 4 director, quote, "It is time for the buffs." Among the many things that were addressed at the town hall, one of them was the nerfs that have happened since the opening weeks to things that didn't feel right. And I guess Blizzard has enough analytic data now to see what people are spending the most time on. And that's certain dungeons, certain areas. Some have been nerfed, some have not yet, but it's all supposedly going down sometime around when Season 1 starts, which is mid-July. So, yeah, there are going to be buffs to unspecified, in this article at least, skills and powers across the classes, and yeah, I guess that's point one. There are 4 points to this, and we can go over them actually, however you want to, if either of you have thoughts on them. There's the promised buffs coming for not only dungeon XP and skills, but also weapons and affixes. There are gems being removed from main inventory. There is a plan to mitigate hardcore deaths due to disconnects and game glitches. And there is there have been details released by the community about how timed events in D4 work. That's a bunch of Excel spreadsheet nerds. God bless them. So yeah, I don't know if you had anything that, or either of you had anything that you took away from the town hall in terms of changes, good, bad, whatever.
I mean, the town hall itself was fucking awful.
Yeah.
They said a whole lot of nothing. It was okay. They talked a little bit about some stuff. Like, the only definitive stuff that I took away from it is that they're going to make some sort of gem storage change. Possibly just adding them to the materials tab, possibly making a gem bag of sorts. They didn't say explicitly what they will be doing, but, it'll be something.
A gem sack, mayhaps.
But the sad fact about that is simply that even if they do solve the gem storage issue, they haven't solved the gems having absolutely no purpose issue. As it currently stands, you fill the 7 to 12 or however many slots you can get with all the different weapons on a barb. Once you fill all your gem sockets, you have literally no reason to pick up a single gem ever again. because there's absolutely nothing right now in game that uses gems. So that's a big problem. There is loot in game that there is no purpose to pick up. That sucks. Let's see, what else? Apparently resistances are kind of broken. There's
I
issue.
read that too. I don't have the article, but I did read that.
Basically, once you get to the end game, resistances are kind of meaningless. You can have whatever resistances, but if you're a squishy class like Sork and your barrier falls, you're going to get one shot. Doesn't matter what your resistances are. So they acknowledge that resistances are a little fucked at the moment, and they said they won't fix them until season 2, which is potentially 4 months away. So that's a bit of a disappointment, because you might think that is something that should be relatively easy, or at least relatively easy to iterate upon and start working on, but apparently not. What else did they say? There will be some quality of life updates someday. Trademark. There will be some social features added, like matchmaking and things. Someday. Trademark. Let's see. What else did I have in my notes? One positive thing, definitively positive, that they did say is Nightmare Sigils will soon open a portal directly to the dungeon. That's pretty convenient. One thing that they are not going to change that is kind of shitty is they are not going to add the ability to right-click on a party member portrait to teleport to them. You will have to go to town to a teleporter pad or waypoint or whatever, where there you will find your party member.
Fucking
portals.
yeah, not including /dance in the game was bad.
Oh,
enough.
that'll be a paid emote soon enough. Don't worry, Doc. You can buy all the dances you want.
I'm not gonna fucking pay money to do a jaunty jig in town. Fuck that bullshit. But not being able to right-click on somebody's portrait and teleport to them, that's polite. That should be a standard practice since D3.
And you just gotta head to town and then hop in their portal. They said some bullshit about they like that the town is the meeting place. That's what they said. They like the town being the hub, which really sounds like we need a lazy excuse to not address this.
Yeah, it sounds like there's nothing in the hub to encourage people to go to the hub aside from when they need to unload their inventory or unload their inventory. And since they don't want to see a drastic population drop off and make it appear like the game is empty and people aren't playing it, then they're just going to force you to go to the hub because fuck you. We don't care if it's inconvenient. Yeah, that's something of a Blizzard decision. Blizzard idea.
Yeah, it's a little nutful. As for the dances and whatnot and other paid things, one hope that I'm holding out for that I don't think I've had any indication one way or another. I am hoping that the Battle Pass rewards will include some amount of the premium currency. That is very common in games to give the free players a little taste to wet the beak and hopefully encourage them to buy more down the road. So, we'll be able to get our dances. It just might take a season. And we'll just have to decide that that's what we want to spend the limited amount of premium currency we are given on, assuming, of course, that they do decide to do that. But that is all just speculation on my part. Anyway.
I'm not gonna say that's unlikely. I hope that is actually the case. But I do remember in 6th grade when I was explicitly taught that drug dealers would offer me free drugs to try and get me hooked, and that never, ever, ever fucking happened in my entire goddamn life.
Absolutely the most disappointing thing that I was afraid of as a child that did not become a positive reality as an adult.
Lion-ass dare teachers.
God, the world would be such a better place if people were just offering drugs.
Yeah, you want free drugs? Wait, have you ever smoked the reefer before? No. Oh, well, we get free reefer. Yeah. Basically me going around claiming that I've never smoked pot before to get as much free pot as I possibly can. Yeah, that'd be great.
Is there a drug dealer here? I've never smoked pot before. Can I try some?
Pot?
So
Is that what they
try it.
call it?
I would like to try 2 marijuanas, please.
Oh gosh.
I've never had the marijuanas. See, if you try too hard, they're gonna know you're lying.
Right, yeah, you have to like call it the reefer. I just say like I've never had the reefer before. You got your 1950s/60s terminology there. Silas says, "Who doesn't want free drugs?" Yes. All right, so
I'm gonna get back to my notes here and see if I got anything else written down. They tried to address level scaling complaints, basically, which are that throughout the entirety of the game, enemies level with you, which means you never get to feel like a god. That was always kind of the delightful part, a delightful portion, I should
getting
say,
Paragon 100. Yeah,
of D3 and of D2. When you got to endgame in D2, you were a fucking god. But in this, all the way up to 100, enemies scale with you up to 100. So people were complaining about that. The way that they addressed that was by mentioning level scaling, and then very quickly, without explaining their reasoning, pivoted to a discussion about item scaling and said that, people were perhaps confused about which, when items, whether you go with the higher item score or the higher item level, blah, blah, blah. So they kind of like punted that question a little bit and didn't answer. That was a little boring. Mr. Llama was very upset about that because he's been complaining about level scaling because he's a level 100 tryhard, of course. Let's see, what else do I got here? I think that was about it. Did I have one thing at the end? Oh, they're also going to fix Necromancer's ridiculously awful black cloud of annoying bullshit.
Oh, the black cloud of opaqueness that everybody can see.
Yeah, they're going to fix that awful fucking mind-blowingly bad decision that they made.
It's the equivalent of oh shit, who's a good frame? Ember in Warframe, taking Ember in Warframe and making her color palette like neon pink. Just eye cancer absolutely everywhere.
Or just the existence of any of the particle effect weapons and Mirage.
Oh yeah, Mirage and Brahma. Yeah, that'll do it.
But,
so that was an awful one. So I don't think in the town hall, I don't think they got to their discussions on how they were going to fix hardcore deaths because I think
they did talk about that. Yeah,
they did. Okay,
yeah, you want to talk about the hilarious clip that spawned it?
yes, because did somebody share that? It might have been you. Of Quinn69. He just finished. Was it a capstone dungeon that he had just finished?
No, that was a nightmare dungeon that he was doing.
Okay, he was all done. He was finished with the nightmare dungeon. He had a bubble up. It's the invincibility bubble, and he TP'd back to town. I guess in the middle of his TP, he got DC'd.
Yep.
And when he came back into game,
I think it was a hard crash. I don't think it was a DC. I think it froze in the load screen, and he had to Alt F4 or Task Manager kill it, if I remember correctly. But
It was a hardcore character. DC came back into town. His character was dead. He just got the Hall of Heroes screen. That's what he got.
Yep. Oof. Now, what's interesting is the way Nightmare Dungeons work. There are each one you get a buff and like 4 negatives, and those negatives are usually a couple of them are enemy buffs, either bonuses to damage. Like one of them is always a bonus to damage type. One of them is always a special damage ability, like they do extra damage to barriers, or they do damage as a chance to slow you, stuff like that. But then there's one that's an environmental effect. And the one that he was doing is an environmental effect where every 30 seconds or so, a small dome appears, and you have to get under that dome, or else you get zapped with a bolt of electricity that can very well kill you. Now, when you finish a nightmare dungeon, the shrine pops up where you can upgrade your sigils. And in that shrine, you are invincible. It is a protection shrine. You are fine. Enemies can't fuck with you. The environmental effects of a level can't fuck with you. You're fine. So he finished his shrine, or he finished the nightmare dungeon, killed everything, and he's under the protective bubble. Like, the lightning storm is still going on, but because he's under the bubble, he is protected from it. It is at that point that he teleports, and like has happened to me a dozen times, he disconnected during the teleport, or he froze during teleport. So what happened was somehow the freeze caused the game to think that he was still there, but for some reason the game removed the protective shield that was supposed to be around him. And the lightning storm that was going on as an environmental effect proceeded to kill him because the game thought that for some reason
because the game is
protective
bugged.
dome was gone. So yeah, that's the inside mechanics of what happened to him. And man, that fucking sucks so bad. But like, honestly, part of playing hardcore game, especially at this phase of development, is quite simply like, that is one of the things you're trying not to die to. You know, you're trying not to die to enemies. You're trying not to die to the game. You're also trying not to die to the coding. And if you are playing a hardcore ARPG, like if you're playing an ARPG hardcore mode in the first, month, fucking year of development, and you die to instability, especially when the game is known for being very unstable, hey, the game beat you. It sucks, but every death in hardcore sucks. That one is just another way for it to happen. It's a very zen approach to it. And I know that might be bullshit to some people, but like, no,
we've seen in the beta and in the first few weeks of playing this game, we've seen that it is still unstable at parts. I also CTD'd a bunch of times during boss fights, and that was really super annoying to me. But I play softcore because that was ingrained in me in Diablo 3. Because they didn't sort their shit. There were connection issues in Diablo 3. There were drops in latency, or spikes, I should say, in latency. It gets higher, so your game lags behind. And when they started doing crazy shit, like game-breaking stuff with multiple thousand percentages of increased damage on gear sets and stuff like that, the game would still crash occasionally. And if you were playing a hardcore character and you were out in the world, or you were in a dungeon or a Nephilim Rift and the game crashed and you loaded back in, your guy was dead. So yeah, even Diablo 3, even 10 years after that game was launched, there were still things in there, that dissuaded me from playing hardcore characters. It doesn't surprise me at all that there's shit like that in this game right now. So yeah, Silas says Blizzard still hasn't learned how to do netcode. They do most netcode okay, but yeah, you want a constant online service, especially one like this. Now they've taken Diablo to be almost full MMO. And yeah, Blizzard needs to up their game there. But yeah, I know they did. So the roundabout of this is that I guess that it was in the town hall that they did say that they have plans to mitigate things like that. They said that these fixes that they're proposing will be around sometime in season 2. Which is a really fucking long way off for people that want to play this game every day. So yeah, I'm sorry to the hardcore community, but yeah, this is Blizzard. This is what you paid for. And I guess one of the things, they're going to try to identify the teleporting bug that will crash a desktop and kill you. For other sorts of problems like sudden disconnects, I guess there's There is a hardcore item called something like the Scroll of Retreat. I have no idea what it is, or the Scroll of some shit.
Scroll of Retreat.
Yeah, so you pop that and you instantly go back to town. That's a get out of jail free card essentially. And Blizz said that in the case of a disconnect, if you're playing a hardcore character and you have a DC, then they're going to work on ways to identify that it is actually a DC, and the game will automatically pop one of those scrolls if you have it, and it will send you back to town so that when you log in, you're not dead. Or
I love how they're like,
probably not dead.
We're not going to fix DCs, but we're going to make a way to detect DCs so that you can escape. And then it's still your own fault if you die because you didn't buy one of these fucking items.
Yeah, that's what I thought too, is yeah, so if you don't have one of these scrolls, it's a moot point. But if you do have one of these scrolls, you can look forward to potentially wasting one if Blizzard's servers aren't doing swell.
I'm killing an open world boss in Helltide by myself, and it is taking a long time.
Yep, looks like it. What's the timer at? Duration 14:55, 34. You've got like 15 minutes. You're fine. Everything's fine.
Fuck, yeah. I hate these. I've died to these fucking
Jesus
meteors during Helltide so many times.
Whatever the boss is just spooging out rockets. I do appreciate the updated artwork on the Skeeters. Because Skeeters got a skeet, and I'm glad they're still there.
I hate him.
Gaming, what did you do?
Ah, updated my name because good. Fuck him.
Zero Burn Gaming, he's back.
Yeah.
Great. Wait, are you already changed? No, it doesn't matter. I fixed your name on Discord. Never mind.
Yeah, you've already done that, but it is now officially fucking fixed. Like, you
what good are admin powers? What good are admin powers if I can't abuse them? But yeah, all right. So that was two. Okay, so Blizzard also decided to. I'll just cut away from that for a brief moment. Also decided to fix, quote unquote, a Diablo 4 power leveling technique, which was probably a bug in the game. But it allowed people who had just created a character to hop onto World Tier 3 or World Tier 4 if they had a friend who wanted to walk them through some dungeons to power level them. That was a thing until June 15th.
Oh, did they make Capstone Dungeons not party anymore? You can't do them in a party?
I don't think that's what this is. I believe Hotfix 11 made it so that you cannot, no matter what, no matter who you're in party with, you cannot access World Tier 3 and World Tier 4 unless you have beaten the story. Unless you've gone all the way through the story.
Wait, but like one of the options for starting your subsequent characters is to skip the campaign entirely. Now you have to, once you're in World Tier, like when you start a new character after you've beat the campaign, one of the options is just, like skip campaign, and you just start as an open world character.
Then this may be referring to people who are just hopping in and creating their first character for the first time. Yeah, so the article I was just quoting previously, players had been able to get access to Diablo 4's 3rd and 4th world tiers, which are meant to be gated until you've beaten the game, by joining a party started by someone who has already accessed one of those tiers.
Whoa.
I fucking sold the world boss.
Yay.
All right, I thought you already had to, because if you're doing a campaign character, you can't do the Capstone Dungeon until you beat the campaign. And if you're doing a world character, or you're doing a skip campaign character, you still have to do the Capstone Dungeon to get to get from Tier 2 to Tier 3. Now, when I was having trouble with one of my Capstone Dungeons, Leetness hopped in the party and helped me finish it. It was literally just the boss fight that I was getting boned in. But we that got me into World Tier 3. So that makes me wonder
Yes.
if they've removed the ability to party for those.
I can't speak to that, but the article does say that, yeah, in order to, regardless of finishing the campaign or not, yeah, you need to, in order to access World Tier 3 or 4, now the only way to do that is to, they say, beat the game and defeat the capstone dungeon, or go through the capstone dungeon that you unlock upon beating the game. So maybe it is, you can still skip the campaign as you do normally, but yeah, you have to do that capstone dungeon when you pop in if you want to get to World Tier 3. Erfer.
Well,
So,
we shall see how that
Yep.
plays out.
so that was Hotfix 11. It came out this week. More hotfixes to come, no doubt.
Yeah,
All
if they
right,
forced solo on capstone dungeons, that would definitely slow down some people. I mean, it would have slowed me down a little bit. My Sork was, like I said, I was able to do pretty much everything just fine, and I got through the entire mission, but the boss was fucking with me. So Linus joined me, and we killed the boss together.
Yeah, you should be able to still party up with somebody now. It's just that you're going to have to party up at World Tier 1 or World Tier 2 and do it there. And then, after you've beaten the capstone dungeon, then you can access World Tier 3.
Okay, well, I mean, if that's the case, then, I mean, good that they fixed it, I guess, but I don't see how that's exactly going to slow people down from their power leveling.
Yeah, probably not.
That's my next question then, is like, is this a solution in search of a problem? Like, people are going to power level. Fucking grinders are going to grind, Blizzard. You're not going to fix that. Like, you think it's a fucking matter of time before people figure out the most efficient ways they have to do this game. And when they do, sure, it's a live service game. Blizzard will fucking change it up. They'll nerf shit. Well, then people are going to figure out the next thing. And anytime they release something new, people are going to figure out ways to exploit it that they never found in QC. And it's going to take them another cycle of bug fixes and updates to fix that shit. So welcome to a live service game, Blizzard. It's not like you haven't done this shit before.
Dude, we had, what was it, the Sunken Ruins or some shit in Act 1 of Diablo 3, and that was the dungeon that everybody went to because the mob, it was full of Kristen Stewarts. So you ran through it, you primed the Kristen Stewarts, they threw up their Edwards, and then you went back through the dungeon a second time and you just slaughtered everything, and that was how people ground up to Paragon 100 in D3. They fixed that by giving us rifts and greater rifts. It was fantastic. As soon as we had that to access for repeatable content that gave us really great XP, nobody went back to that dungeon ever again. That was an awesome fix. That is how you fix that. But yeah, you're not ever going to stop the grind. And what I suspect that Blizzard is really after here is the Lost Ark model of getting people to play not large volumes of time every day, but or the Diablo Immortal model even, to get people to play for an hour, maybe 2 hours, but every single day. That is how you maintain players. That is how you get more people in your cash shop. That is how you get real money off of cosmetics. So that's what I suspect that they're going for here, and that's I expect them to tackle grinding from that perspective. But we are still, and this should really be a slogan at this point, we're still very early on in the game. Game's still developing, still in development. Nice little Lost Ark mechanic right there. Another nice little Lost Ark mechanic when you do the jump.
Well,
Lost Ark has that too. Your dodge spacebar. So you, you just sort of jump
using
forward.
it for environmental.
Yeah. Or actually, I guess when you climb stuff in Lost Ark, you press G, but you can rebind it to space, just to save some time. So yeah, the last thing for Diablo 4 was that some Excel jockeys, God bless them, have been timing world boss spawns down to the millisecond. And that's a lot of stuff on the ground. Good
Yeah,
lord.
this was quite a jackpot that some people left behind.
So yeah,
Storm to dust.
there's a campaign underway to figure out exactly, again, down to the millisecond, when world bosses will spawn, the frequency in which they spawn, and the order in which they spawn, and where they will spawn. So we're in that phase of reverse engineering at this point. Pretty soon there will be a very helpful website with a timer on it that will tell you when the next world boss will be, where it will be, and who it will be.
Well,
if
we
there
do
isn't
have
already.
the best that we have right now is a Helltide tracker, but that's just a simple timer. What you can do, if you would like, is go to the official Diablo Discord server, and there is a world event tracker that will ping you when world events happen, and you can actually select which events you would like to be notified for, whether it's legions, world bosses, or what have you.
That is true. Yeah. The Diablo 4 Discord is definitely out there. We're not affiliated, but they seem pretty decent. And while you're on the Diablo 4 Discord, you can check out the entire channel devoted to trying to find the cow level.
That's true. That is a thing there. I looked at it a few times, and there's nothing of substance. I'm sure a few people have said something interesting, but it's mostly just whatever.
Yeah, it's all speculation. But in our group, we have already found the area with all the cows. We have already found the cow statues. And we've already found the... I forget which class of gear it is, but there is one that makes reference to cows. Bovines, specifically. So, yeah. Anyway. D4, everybody. Zero, how's your D4 experience?
I love it. Game of the year.
Oh, this game's going to win awards.
You've mentioned that before.
Yep. No, I'm fully like, we've still got a whole half a year to go. And I am saying that this game is better than anything that is slated to come out for the remainder of this year.
You haven't played Star Citizen yet. I'm sorry.
I don't want to play Star Citizen.
I can't help it.
Only Diablo, all the time.
Star Citizen is the biggest game of the millennium, Zero. Do you know how long it's been in development?
How long?
6,000 years.
Oh my god, that is so many years.
Seems possible, right?
Seems
okay.
Legit.
So, does anybody remember, just moving out quickly, an article that I found that I really adore? There it is. Does anybody remember when McDonald's tried to sue a burger joint in Ireland because they used something similar to the Big Mac as a name for one of their burgers, and despite the fact that this burger joint in Ireland had predated McDonald's by several decades, McDonald's thought that they were going to launch this lawsuit and they were going to totally win, and then they lost spectacularly, and across the European Union, McDonald's lost the trademark to the name Big Mac, so now anybody can use it. Anybody remember that when that happened?
No.
Yeah, it's pretty hilarious story.
It's pretty great. Yeah, Burger King has some really great... Burger King over in the EU has some pretty great menus that are just showing pictures of Whoppers being like the Big Mac, except it's actually big. Anyway, Apple's decided to try and do the same goddamn thing. So it's called Bananas IP Case. Sees Apple seeking rights over actual apples. So Apple has filed a lawsuit in Switzerland seeking to gain intellectual property rights over depictions of apples. We're not talking about depictions as in Apple's logo, the stylized bitten apple. We're talking about depictions of actual apples, the ones that grow on trees.
Why do corporations suck so much?
I don't know, but this is amazing. So the core of the disagreement, according to this article, is that there is a company in Switzerland called Fruit Union Suisse, which is according to this article, quote, a venerable collection for fruit producers that's been around for 111 years. And over 100 years ago, they came up with their logo, their slogan, which is a red apple with the white Swiss cross on it. So, very appropriate. Apple apparently attempted to trademark the depiction of an apple in 2017. And they were going for the Swiss Institute of Intellectual Property, and the Swiss IP Institute didn't give Apple everything that it wanted, but it did grant some rights, while citing a legal principle about generic imagery of common items to deny most others. So Apple was not satisfied with this, and now they've decided to go after this specific company, saying that their logo infringes on Apple's logo, despite the fact that this company predates Apple by, again, several decades. So yeah, I thought this was funny. And I was kind of hoping that Masami wouldn't be busy, or I was hoping that she would be here tonight, but she got held up, because this article is full of puns. For example, the latter denials are what Apple is now appealing.
Oh, God.
The subtitle is, would you Adam and Eve it? That's not as great. Would you believe it? But, you know, whatever. So yeah, I am really hoping that Apple loses this lawsuit and loses their trademark, basically, throughout Europe. I would find that hilarious to see how many new things would have apples on them. Start selling Windows PCs with apples on them.
It's just a design motif, guys.
It's the Windows 11 Apple. That's just the model of the computer.
Android Apple.
Yeah, the Android Apple. It's a great new phone, only available in Europe. Very exclusive.
It's the Apple phone. It's not the iPhone. Clearly not an infringement on that trademark. It's just an Apple phone.
The Apple phone. All right, last thing that I wanted to put up here was, have I ever talked about how popular Nicolas Cage is in Japan?
Yes.
Yeah, he does some hilarious ads that I've seen, like fucking fancy ass like clothes and colognes and all sorts of shit like that.
There's one picture that I took on the Ginza that I'm pretty sure that I posted here. It is a massive billboard of Nicolas Cage wearing its watch advertisement, and he just looks very dapper. It is fucking enormous, and it is in the middle of one of the busiest commercial streets in the entire country of Japan. So yeah, obviously he's popular. He sells.
Some of the weirdest celebrities have fame in the most hilarious of places.
Yeah, they do. I've also seen some of the commercials that Arnold Schwarzenegger has done in Japan, and hearing him speak any Japanese, just the briefest amount is fucking great. Oh, anyway, Nicolas Cage might be appearing in a Hideo Kojima game.
That could be fun. I heard that he's not going to be directing the Death Stranding movie. But he will be heavily consulted with.
Yes, he will not be in the director's chair, but he will be, according to him, his own tweet, he will be heavily involved, as you say. And yeah, I hope that they listen to everything that he says, because good lord, it's his fucking story in the first place. So yeah, anyway, apparently I missed this, but Nick Cage is going to be, I love this sentence. Quote, last month brought the news that Nicolas Cage would play Nicolas Cage, starring as Nicolas Cage in Dead by Daylight. So I don't even know how many levels of Inception that is, but that's Yeah, that's something. So he's going to be in Dead by Daylight. The character of the survivor will be Nicolas Cage, and he
So wait, so the
says
game is going to be Nicolas Cage survives a what, zombie apocalypse?
it will be Dead by Daylight. It will be a content add-on to the Dead by Daylight game, and it will be Nicolas Cage as Nicolas Cage. Yes, I
That's
assume that he'll
amazing.
be surviving a zombie apocalypse.
You
I
are
assume.
you are playing from the perspective of Nicolas Cage, the
Yes.
human being
The human being Nicolas Cage.
in a false reality. I love it. That is great. I want to see more of this shit. And only pick crazy actors, please. Don't pick fucking normal people.
Yeah, he's got. I mean, Nicolas Cage sort of started off strong with the movie he did with Pedro Pascal, which spawned that goddamn meme that I saw pretty much everywhere for 2 solid weeks. I've forgotten what it's called. Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, something like that. So yeah, in that movie, it was Nicolas Cage starring as Nicolas Cage in Nicolas Cage: The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. So yeah, he did that. Now he's going to go meta again in Dead by Daylight, and now he is attached to a future Hideo Kojima game. I don't know what it will be. It is very the whole thing has just been very obscure.
Do you think?
But Kojima tweeted it out.
Do you think Nick Cage just fully embraces it and just goes full meta for the rest of his career? Because that would be kind of great. That would be kind of great.
Here's what I know about Nick Cage. I know that he unironically loves every project that he has taken part in. He has stated as much many times in public. So he does not he doesn't look at Ghost Rider, for example, and say, "Oh my God, what a hilarious B movie." He says that is in his mind, it is a serious artistic project, and he was honored to be a part of it, and it was absolutely fantastic. So despite whatever I might have a different opinion about that, but it is a very wholesome and excellent attitude for a professional to have. So I think that if he has, if he's starting to do all this meta stuff, it's because he got it into his head maybe before Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, and he decided, like, this is like where my art is going. This is what I want to do. So yes, actually, from that standpoint, if that were the case, I would expect to see a whole lot more meta stuff.
I mean,
including him.
It's the most Nick Cage thing ever. That's why it's so great. It's the perfect thing. Like, I want more of it. Like, bring it. It's great.
Yeah, again, no idea what the project is going to be, but Kojima has a fucking solid track record. And when I saw this, it was like, yeah, no, that makes total sense to me that Kojima knows and admires Nicolas Cage, because he has been popular for a long time in Japan. I was there almost 10 years ago, and I saw that billboard. I saw many billboards of him. Also, several billboards of... Oh shit, I should find those pictures again, because I'm pretty sure that Jason Momoa is another guy who's big there. Arnold Schwarzenegger was, and Sylvester Stallone was, and may still be, actually. But yeah, anyway, I thought that was great. More Nicolas Cage to come. Breaking into the gaming industry with Dead by Daylight, and if that's not enough, then whatever Kojima puts out next.
Yeah, we've seen... You've watched me play Death Stranding, which is full-on Norman Reedus the game.
Yes, the game should just be called Norman Reedus.
Yeah, Norman Reedus walking. But how do you? What are your thoughts on celebrity actors in games?
Usually I'm all for it. I do think that there are certain actors out there that are way more appropriate for it. For example, Ron Perlman. I think Ron Perlman should be in more video games. Mr. Perlman.
I would play Ron Perlman as anything. Give me a third person shooter. Give me a top down. Give me.
Oh, he's got range. Absolutely.
Yeah, I would absolutely play. Like, give me a Hellboy game.
Sure.
Give me a Hellboy game. I'm just gonna say that. Give me a Hellboy game.
Yeah. But after that, I mean, you could take a game, you could set it in, the 12th century in Europe. You could set it in dystopian futuristic sci-fi. You could set it in basically any setting that you could think of. You could even make probably a dating simulator with Ron Perlman, and it would be engaging. So he's definitely one. But yeah.
Now, would you be playing the game as Ron Perlman trying to get dates, or would you be trying to date Ron Perlman?
I would prefer that there were both modes, because after
games
I
need to
was
be versatile.
Yeah, after I was Ron Perlman going on dates, I would want to try to engage with Ron Perlman and see if the game could teach me anything about the man that, that I don't know in real life or whatever. That'd be nice. Aside from that, I mean, yeah, I'm just here's what I'm never a fan of. I'm never a fan of shoehorning somebody in because they're the popular name at the time. I think that oh god, who's a good example? I'm not gonna be able to think of anybody right now. I don't want to say bad things about Samuel Garfield because I did actually like him playing Spider-Man, but if you're, gonna all of a sudden Spider-Man comes out and Spider-Man 2 comes out and Samuel Garfield is the hottest thing and he's dating Emma Stone and all the rest of that, and so he gets shoehorned into like 6 or 7 games. That's annoying.
Andrew Garfield,
sorry.
No, it's okay. I was like, did he say Samuel? Did I hear that right?
Samuel L. Garfield.
Samuel L. Garfield.
I think you got.
I shot web, motherfucker.
Where did it come from, Samuel? Don't worry about it. Oh, God.
Have you seen Kingpin? Yes. Does he look like a bitch? So yeah, apart from that, no, there are definitely some celebrities that I think would do excellent in a video game setting. Besides Ron Perlman, though, who's someone that the young people can relate to? I immediately thought of Kesha. The first time anyone's thought of Kesha in about 7 years.
Bill Murray.
No, Jesus Christ, no, because every single game involving Bill Murray would just be Bill Murray hating the fact that he was in a video game.
I mean, that's true. That's why it took so long for him to get, for them to get him back in Ghostbusters for Afterlife.
I thought that's because he thought that after Ghostbusters 2, the franchise should really be done, and that there shouldn't be a next one, especially considering that years after he made that decision, everybody started making sequels and prequels and butchering already existing franchises. And then the only way that Sony could get him back into the movie was by threatening him with some obscure legal clause to say that, all right, you're going to give us permission to use your character and all the rest of this. You're going to drop your bullshit or we're going to tie you up in court until the end of time. I'm pretty sure, actually, that that's what happened. See, here's the thing. I do love Ghostbusters, and from that standpoint, I acknowledge Bill Murray is a smart man, and he's a great writer. He's apparently a thoughtful individual and a complete insufferable asshole. But from there, I kind of understand when that came out, when Paul Feig, I think, released something.
butchered 2016's version of the Ghostbusters.
Yeah, but remember, that's the one that came out first. That's the one that Bill Murray was in first, and that's what started the whole fucking thing off. I think it was something that Paul Feig let slip, and that story came out. And yeah, at that point, I was just like, huh. Yeah, I gained some respect for the man because he's actually thoughtful about defending the Ghostbusters franchise, because at that time, yeah, 2016 rolls around, Ghostbusters 2016 happens, and no one talks about it today because it was that bad. And you have that, yeah, Paul Feig and his producer trying to tell people that if you don't like this film, then you're sexist against women. No, it's just a bad movie. I'm not going to feel bad about not liking a bad movie.
Yeah.
Should have gotten Kristen Wiig on the writing staff. She obviously knows how to write. Won a fucking Emmy for it. Yeah. So Bill Murray, Morgan Freeman. I think Morgan Freeman, Samuel L. Jackson, and you know what? I'd really love to see Wesley Snipes in a video. I'd really like to see a Blade resurgence this day and age.
It's gonna happen. I'm telling you,
it was a real punch in the face I think the entire Blade community when Black Panther came out and was hailed as the first black action hero.
Yeah, that actually pissed me off a lot because it was
did you people not fucking
remember Wesley Snipes?
3 goddamn Blade movies? One of them actually good? I'm sorry, I do not like oh god, it was Blade 3. Hannibal King was the goddamn name of Ryan Reynolds' character. It was so dumb that I remember it to this day.
But that character did exist in the comic book.
It did, yeah, no disputing, no anything like that. No, yeah.
That's the only reason the name could be so possibly terrible, because comic books aren't exactly known for having great names of characters.
They're not targeted towards adults.
I will say this: the fact that they picked I'm gonna butcher his name, Mahershala.
I think that's it. I think that's about right.
Yeah, he is playing Blade in the new movie that is coming out in whenever.
Yeah, Blade needs some loves, but I want to see Wesley Snipes, you know, make an appearance back in there because, goddamn, that guy did some fucking tremendous work. Demolition Man.
He was Blade, like that. It's like you look at roles for specific people, and you look at their comic book counterparts, and you go, "That is perfect." Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man, Tony Stark. As much as I hate to say it, Mark Ruffalo actually plays a decent and convincing comic book accurate version of Bruce Banner / the Hulk.
Every time I like Mark Ruffalo, not for the Hulk, but he's done other stuff too, and he's done some really good stuff.
Yeah.
But every time I hear the name Mark Ruffalo, I think about the picture of him photoshopped as a buffalo.
Well, the Mark Ruffalo buffalo.
The Mark Ruffalo buffalo, and it makes me smile. What if Mark Ruffalo was a buffalo?
But I mean, quintessential. I mean, Blade. There's nobody else who will ever be able to play that. I mean, just that one scene. The one scene where he gets shot in the hospital and he looks at those guys and says,
"Oh my god,
are you crazy?"
No, he looks
have you lost your mind?
He's just I'm pretty sure it's just the one word. He just looks at me and is like, "Seriously?" I know exactly the scene that you're talking about too. Motherfucker, seriously?
It wasn't the leading star, but Carl Weathers has done quite a few roles that I think deserve a little attention, perhaps.
Oh, absolutely.
He was a great, somewhat antagonist to Arnold Schwarzenegger in Predator. He wasn't the star, but he was the supporting character for sure.
He's got, I mean, right now at least he's got the recurring role in Mandalorian.
That's true.
So he's still around. He's still active.
He's actually plays a one of the retired district attorneys in Law and Order. Yeah,
I forgot that you actually watched Law and Order.
yeah. So, and the exact line from Blade, because I had to look it up because it was going to bug me all night and I would have lost sleep over it. 6 shots fired out from the police officers. He looks dead at them and says, "Motherfucker, are you out of your damn mind?" And then walks right toward him. I mean, come on.
Does one of the guys then say, like, sorry?
No, doesn't say anything. It just cuts.
Shit.
They run away from him.
Okay, alright. Shit. Yeah, no, absolutely great moment. The character of Blade has levity to him, but also humor. Sorry, I'm sorry, I had to. Yeah. So, unfortunately, it doesn't look like Carl Weathers is doing much besides Mandalorian, although he does this year have a music video coming out called Actors and Athletes Against Gang Violence. So he is active in the community. Good for him. Good for all of us, actually. But yeah, Magnum P.I., Law & Order. He's done some video games, too.
Mm-hmm.
Well, these are not video games that I would play, because I am pretty good at voices, so I think I'd pick him up. But yeah, anyway. That's about it. We can probably stop here. Hour and 15 minutes. Probably the last 20 minutes of that was us talking about Ron Perlman.
Talking about great actors and the roles that they were born to play.
Great actors, yeah. Bring back Wesley Snipes. And I wouldn't mind seeing more Ron Perlman around. God damn it.
He was in Blade 2.
He was.
Yes. He played Reinhardt.
He did. Oh my god, you remember the name. You're right, though.
Yes.
Because as soon as you said it, I remember it too. He has, yeah.
Smarmy asshole that he was. Do you blush?
He was. See, Ron Perlman can play a character like that. He can play a complete asshat, and then he can do another movie where he's, like, sensitive and caring. Man's got range. Alright, so yeah. That'll do it for this podcast. GG's, everybody. Thanks for swinging by. We'll be back same time, same place next week. Penis. Fuck Winnie the Pooh. Fuck Putin. Fuck Nestle.
Bye.
Bye. Fuck 'em.
Enjoy. Fuck 'em. Yum.